Okay, so here we are today with Cedric Kazi, and Cedric, you have just passed your PMP exam, so congratulations to you. How
Thank
does
you.
it
Thank
feel?
you so much. I feel like you release, after a few months of hardly working and studying, hiding myself in the closet, reading the PM book guide,
Yes.
taking all these tests and asking yourself a question, how is going to be that day? And
Hmm.
then, I mean, it's kind of release, it gives you confidence. And then even now when I'm thinking about the concept of project management, it comes in my mind easily because as I have passed the test,
Yeah,
now even the knowledge, the concept that I read all those months, like 2, 3 months, now they like stick in my mind.
yeah, very good,
Yeah.
very good. So if I might ask you, so obviously you were working in project management before you took the test.
Yeah. Actually, I work for Schlumberger, which is an oil and gas company, oil field provider company.
Okay,
So we manage a lot of projects. So since let's say I I've been working for that company almost now 10 years.
yes.
So I moved from field supervisor to back to the office, and then I've
Mhm.
been project coordinator for so long. So
Yeah,
I've been going through managing project, making sure that we're delivering high quality
yeah.
operation to the client. So I have been in project management for kind of quite a bit. Yeah.
Yeah, so you've been working pretty successfully, it sounds, in project management for oil and gas companies. So what made you take the PMP? Like, why did you want to do that?
Oh, I took the PMP because looking at the world is going diverse. There's a lot of things going on in the world, and then
Yeah.
um, I wanted to be certified as a project manager, and then direct my career in project
Mhm.
management because my next step will be entering in management position. So I
Yeah,
wanted to be certified in project management as I deal with projects on a daily basis.
right, right. Very good. So that's important to you for your job and your career moving forward.
Yeah. And then I remember when I started the journey for PMP, I talked to my boss.
Yeah.
She was like, "Oh, what is PMP?" I think she did not know what is PMP, and then I had to explain to her, and then she went to Google it, and then uh, get with PMI, and then, oh no, I understand now what you're trying to do. Yeah, I'm trying to be certified, so I'm like worldwide, like everywhere I go in the world, I can work as a project manager.
Very good, very good. So tell me a little bit about your experience. Like, how was it, taking the course and learning
Oh
to
yeah,
the PMP, and how was that for you?
yeah.
Yeah.
Taking the course was kind of. I started in July, back in July. When
Okay.
I saw the material, I'm like, oh, this is a lot. I mean, and
Yeah.
then I bought the pen book guide
Yeah.
version 6. I'm like, oh, I have to read all this book. This
Yeah.
is a lot. But I mean, first time I was scary. I was like, kind of, no, I cannot read all this book. And
Yeah.
then when I bought the package with Elena, and then I went through the package. I went like sitting there 2 hours per day.
Yeah.
On weekdays, I was taking 2 hours, and then on weekends, I was taking 4 hours,
Okay.
reading, listening, taking the questions.
Mhm.
Sometimes I fail, sometimes I don't fail. I'm kind of, no, I cannot drop off. I have to go until the end.
Yeah.
So I get to the end, and then I was like, okay, now I finished all the course, the 10 knowledge area, but
Mhm.
now I need to start taking this 200 question, the full length test. So I remember my first full length test that I took among of those 5 that is on the website.
Yeah.
I scored like 78. I was kind of, 78 is something good, but
Yeah.
I wanted to be above 80. So I'm confident and sure that when I go to the real PMP, and it's going to be good.
Yeah.
So I start taking one by one. I took all 5, and then I saw that my grade was going down. So I started at 78, and then I went down. The 5th one, I scored like 68. So I'm like, no, this is not good.
Right.
And then I went to the process group test, and then I made sure that those one I was passing them like 100%.
Okay.
100%. Those 50 questions for an hour, 50 questions for an hour. I
Yes.
went to the knowledge area. I passed those one as well. I make sure that I pass them um, at 100%. And then I came back to the five full length test, and then I start scoring above 80.
Oh, wow.
And
Wow.
then when I see that, I'm like, okay, there's a window of improvement, right? So which means I'm getting somewhere. So
Yeah.
and then I took one of the example of the description of the application you guys put on the website. Based on those description, I build my own description, like 3 or 4 projects, and
Yes.
then I start applying for the I start filling out the application. So I fill out the application, I went through everything, and then I send the application to PMI.
Yes.
And after a week, I never get a reply from them. I'm like, "Oh, what's going on?" So I went to the website, to
Mhm.
PMI website, and then I found out that they granted me eligibility, saying, "Oh, you're eligible to take the test." So from there, my application did not go through the audit. It was not audited. So everything was smooth. I paid, and then I scheduled my test.
Right, right. Now, you mentioned a couple of things here that I'm going to highlight a little bit for the people listening at home. The first thing you mentioned was your strategy for going through the exam simulator. When you noticed that you weren't scoring well on the first full length, you went back to the knowledge areas and you did those tests first, and that seemed to improve your score. I think that's a really great strategy for people listening, that may not that may have similar problems. So thanks.
Yeah,
That's really great.
yeah, that's what I did. I took
Mm.
first the full length test,
Yeah,
and then I saw my grade was not going up, was
yeah,
going down, and then I stopped. Once I took the 5, I stopped, and then I went to the project, to the process group, and then
yes,
I start making sure that those one before, like let's say for initiation, right? So
yeah,
if I take the 50 question for initiation, if I'm
yeah,
not scoring 100%, I'm not giving up. I have to go back. I
yeah.
have to go
Excellent.
back. So
Yeah,
I did for 5, for initiation, planning, executing,
yeah,
monitoring, control, and closing. Once I made sure that all those 5 process group, I can score them in less than an hour for 100% on the simulator. And then I went to the knowledge area. I did the same. And
yeah.
then after that, I went back to the 5 full length test.
Great, great.
Yeah.
That's excellent. And then the second thing that you mentioned was you use the descriptions for the projects to help you draft your own descriptions when you're applying for your PMP exam.
Oh,
And
yeah, yeah.
I think that's helpful for people too who are kind of wondering, like, how do I word this? It's
Yeah,
you found
yeah.
that helpful. Yeah,
I took the way you guys word it on the website, and then I
yeah,
put my own word, but making sure that I mentioned that I was involved in initiating, I was involved in all the process group
yes,
until the
yeah,
closing. So
perfect.
my application went like through without audit, and then I did not get any question from PMI.
That's
So
amazing.
I scheduled my test like as easy as possible. Yeah.
Super, super. So those are really great tips. Are there any other tips that you'd like to give people, like from your experience, that might help them, with
Yeah.
their PMP?
Yeah, the other thing that I did is like I scheduled my test was in the afternoon at 3:30 p.m.
Hmm.
So when that day I woke up in the morning, I made sure that a day before, I think a day before I was just reading the glossary on the PM book, just
Okay.
to read the definition of each concept, making sure that I'm trying to remember what is a lag, what is a lead, what is those all those concepts, and then and then I went to sleep early that
Yeah.
day.
Yeah.
I knew that my test is in the afternoon. I'm not gonna sleep late. I went to sleep like around 9 or 8:30. When I woke up in the morning, what I did that day, I just went through on the 5 full length test, the question that I was missing, I just
Yeah.
went there to
Yeah.
review those questions that I was missing. And
Yes.
then I review the comment, why I missed them,
Yeah.
what is the right answer, and then why is it the right answer. I
Yeah.
review like 20 of them, or on each test I was missing around 20, 25. So I was just reviewing those questions in the morning.
Hmm.
I spent like 2-3 hours reviewing those questions,
Yeah.
and then once I finish, I close everything, and then uh, I, I, I turn my mind off thinking about other things. I'm like, okay, the test center is like 30 minutes away from my house. I will leave by 2 o'clock. And then I start playing with my girls. I start talking to my wife. I
Yeah.
start doing something different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take your mind
So
off.
that's one kind of, yeah, as you said, kind of bleeding off everything. Just relax, take it easy. And then one thing that I put in my mind in the morning, I wrote it somewhere. Let me read it for you. It's on my
Sure.
phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me just. mm,
Well, while you're doing that, I'll just highlight one thing you said about going to the glossary and triggering. You basically are triggering your memory
Yeah,
the whole course by looking at the glossary and what the definitions are in there. That's a great
yes.
idea, actually.
Oh, yeah.
I never
Yeah,
thought of that.
because
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, the glossary gives you the definition of all those concepts, right? I mean, like
Yeah.
quick definition, so you can
Yeah.
remember easily. Yeah,
Yeah. No, it's a great idea.
yeah.
Very helpful.
So I remember that morning, I had this. When I woke up that morning, I put in my mind that I have to be positive. I'm going there to succeed, not
Yes.
to fail. Yeah.
Yes.
So I put in my mind this word. I'm gonna read it.
Okay.
Whatever your dream is,
Mhm.
it's not too late to achieve it. You are not a failure because you have not found a fame or a fortune. Never tell yourself that you're too old to make it. Never tell yourself that you missed your chance. Never tell yourself that you are not good enough. You can do it, whatever it is.
Mhm.
So I
Wow.
put all those words in my mind, like I
Yeah.
can do this. It's not, uh, people have been doing this, have been done it. They have 2 hands like me, they have a head like me, they have 2 legs like me. They
Yeah.
are not, they are not aliens, right? They're not coming from another planet. So
Yeah.
if they have done it, I can do it as well. So I
Yes.
put that positive attitude in my mind, saying that I'm going there. Once I start the test, I'm gonna score the test and then I'm passing the test. There's no excuse. There's no coming out of that room with a failure. No, I'm coming out with a success. And then I put it in my mind. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna pass for sure. I'm passing this test.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And
So
you did.
that's
That's
one of the good things to be positive. I think that's helped me. It helped me a lot to be positive.
wow. Wow. Well, Cedric, thank you so much for sharing all of this. Is there any one last word you might want to give? I mean, you've said so much. Is there
Yeah,
a
yeah.
last?
The last thing I will say is keep practicing,
Yeah.
keep reading. Don't give up, and then practice the knowledge area and the process group, filling
Yeah.
up the 49 process. That's
Yes.
a good practice. I was doing it like on a daily basis, and then I got to like between 5 and 10 minutes to reproduce that table, and then
Yes.
have my formula, my earn value formula on the sheet.
Right. So you put all that stuff on the cheat sheet they give you when you go to the.
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
When I went to the test, I mean, I went there. I went through all the checking, everything. They put me in the room.
Yeah.
It's kind of. I was kind of scared because there's a camera everywhere. You
Yeah.
cannot talk. Yeah. It's kind of they check you. They told me to pat my hands. Like
Oh
it's
wow.
yeah. They want to make sure that there's no, you're not gonna cheat. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So, and then there's a camera everywhere. So they're looking at you like on the big eye. So when I start the test, when I start, like I click okay, start the test, my 240 minutes start counting down. I
Mhm.
took like, I think it takes me 8 minutes to write down all my formulas, and
Yes.
then write down the process, the 49 process,
Right.
and then the knowledge area, and then process group. So
Mm.
after that, I'm like, okay, I already lost, let's say 10 minutes. Because my goal was to resolve every minute. I have to resolve one question.
Mm. Right.
So,
That was
and
your time.
then,
Yeah.
yeah, that was like my goal. But, and then
Yeah.
once I finished to put the sheet and then my formula, I already passed almost 10 minutes. I did not resolve any question yet.
Yeah.
So when I start replying to the question, the first 5 questions, I could not understand what they were talking about. They're
Oh wow.
like situational question. I'm like, what is this? I
Yeah.
did not see this kind of question. Okay,
Yeah.
I start flagging those questions. So I flag 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once I get to the 6th question, and then I start understanding the way they're asking question. So
Yes.
they give you a situation, and then
Yeah.
they say, you as a project manager, what do you do?
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
And then from there, my mind opened up, and then I start understanding, and then I went
Mhm.
fast. I went kind of fast. When I finished the 200 question, I still have like 35 minutes left. And then I went back to all the questions that I flagged, and
Yeah.
then read them like with attention, with all the knowledge that I had. And then I see, oh, this question was just talking about this. Oh, this is the answer. Oh, this is the answer.
Yeah.
And then I finish all my question. I don't have any question flagged. I still have like 15 minutes left. So I went through again, double check my all my questions. I mean, I did not double check everything, but the question that I was not sure about, I cross-checked them. And then after that, time's up. Okay, you have to submit your answers. I submit the answers. It takes like 2 seconds, I think, to
Oh,
give you the
wow.
result. And then I
Wow.
just saw, when I just saw the first letter C, I'm like, okay, this is congratulations.
Wow. That's
Yeah,
amazing.
so yeah, and then he gives me like, congratulations, you have passed your project management for
Wow.
professional. I'm like,
Super.
oh wow, thank you.
That
So
must
and
feel
then
great.
yeah, and then I feel like the release. I was like
Yeah.
released.
Yeah.
Wow. I was not believing. I mean, is this true that I passed? So I
Yeah.
have to raise my hand. One lady has to come and then say, "Oh, you finished?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm done." Okay. And then she told me, "Okay, get up and then follow me." So
Mhm.
I followed her to the counter, and then they print out my result sheet. And then when I'm looking at the result sheet, that's where I'm like, "Oh, I passed."
Yeah.
Oh, and the lady like, "Oh yeah, if that's what the paper said, you passed. You passed." I'm like, "Oh wow." Yeah, I had to call my wife and then
Oh,
everybody that was supporting me. I passed. I'm like, wow, yeah. And then I think I called Elena. Say, oh, no, I send her a WhatsApp because I have her number. So I send her a WhatsApp. Yeah,
yeah.
I passed the test. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. She was pretty
So
excited to hear that.
yeah, so that was kind of, yeah, the full story. Yeah.
Oh, well. Well, thank you for sharing your story with everybody. We'll
Hmm.
be posting this on our YouTube channel, and thank you very much for choosing Exams PM for your
Hmm.
studies, and
Hmm.
and being a great student and showing people what's possible
Oh
through.
yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
thank you so much.
Thank you. Can you send me the link to your YouTube channel, please?
Yeah, as soon as we post it, well, I'll send you the link. Yeah, no
Okay,
problem.
thank you, Alan. Thank you for your support. You have been very supportive, always answering my questions. That's really good.
Yeah,
Actually, I'm doing the Microsoft 2019 and
yeah,
2016, and
yeah.
then probably I will get back to you to see what I can take as the next course. Yeah.
Super. Thank you so much. I'm just going to stop the video now. Stop recording.